So listen, we've been showing you these rough and tumble town halls in Republican districts all across the country this hour, with the president accusing those angry crowds in a tweet of being, quote, planned out by liberal activists. As you've heard, these folks are asking about everything from, the future of health care to investigations into Russia's interference in the election. So is any of this going to make any difference on what gets done in Washington? That is the central question. And to answer it now, the Woodhouse brothers, Dallas Woodhouse, executive director of the North Carolina Republican Party, and Brad Woodhouse, president of the progressive group Americans United for Change. Dallas, you're up first, pal. It's not just protesters at these things, right? Here's one supporter of Virginia Congressman David Brat and the congressman himself. Watch.
I was impressed with the way Dave handled himself, with the ignorance of people out here in the crowd. I thought he did a great job on what he was saying. I think he answered the questions well.
I tried to explain, right, your transition path and those kind of things, so we can work on getting the anxiety level so we can have more civil discourse. You just hear the anxiety's real and people want real solutions, and so we're going to have to pay attention to that.
The anxiety is real, he says, Dallas. So what do you think? Are these town halls going to change decision-making on Capitol Hill?
Well, I think there's a good, strong, healthy debate going on in America right now, and I think people's concerns about the change, the repeal of Obamacare, of course, has already affected the political discourse in a way. That's why you're seeing Republicans take it very seriously, that they need to try to take care of people that have benefited from Obamacare. At the same time, they have to address the very destructive nature, destruction of the health care markets, and that's why, eventually we will have a solid repeal and replace plan that's put together and signed by President Trump. So I think while there is a lot of vitriol out there, there's also a lot of strong, healthy debate going on in the country.
Brad?
Look, 7 years, Haley, they've said that they were going to come with a plan to replace Obamacare. 7 years, going into the 2010 midterms. They then came out of that midterms and had 50, 60, 70 votes to repeal Obamacare. What you're running into right now is that Republicans and conservatives became intellectually bankrupt during the Obama years. All they did was oppose, dispose, and obstruct. And now they're faced with constituents that can't blame their grief anymore on Obama. Obama's gone. And that have solid health care, that are being protected from being thrown off health care because of pre-existing conditions. Their children are taken care of. And Republicans don't have a plan 7 years in. That's why this anger you're seeing at town halls is real. Some of it may be organized. I'll tell you what, though, Haley, I didn't think that some of it looked organized. These were passionate people really concerned about the future of their health care.
Dallas, when we look at the
2 months into it, 2 months into it, we're expected to completely fix the destruction of the health care market
Dallas,
system.
that
and
is
of course, a lot of people have, hold on, Brad, you got to talk.
Hold on,
a lot
Dallas.
of people have very negatively affected by this. We will get it, but we are determined to try to get it right, not just get it like President Obama did,
Dallas,
and get it over on millions of Americans who health care and health care insurance has gone down the tubes in the last 7 years. So we're going to get it, but we're going to get it right, Brad. I know y'all didn't care about getting it right. I know y'all just wanted to win. We want to get it right.
You and Republicans are intellectually bankrupt. You had 7 years to do this, but all you did was oppose everything that President Obama put forward. He brought a moderate recovery plan forward that a lot of liberals didn't like, didn't think was big enough. You wouldn't work with him. He brought forward a Republican health care plan, one passed by a Republican governor in Massachusetts, proposed by Republican lawmakers here in Washington. They wouldn't work with him on it. You can't kick around Obama anymore. You got to come forward with ideas.
You're
7 years late, Dallas. You're 7 years late.
All right, hang tight. Wait a second, Dallas. I got a question for you, because I want to play off of what your brother's saying and what we heard from Tim Carney earlier on in this show, who said that essentially these town halls, the flashpoint is the issue of the health care law. So if, in fact, you're pointing out you're not expected, you believe, to come up with a plan 2 months into a new administration, but what kind of a plan can Republicans put forward to satisfy those angry constituents, and how soon do they have to do it, Dallas, if it's not out already? What's the timeline here?
Well, I think that we need to fix the health care issue and pass something by the end of the year, the start of next year. I think we have to get it right. I think we have to make sure there's a transition period. But what we ultimately have to do is we have to empower patients. We have to empower people who are paying for health care. What Brad and the Democrats want is for them to say, this is the health care plan you have to have. You take it. You enjoy it. We are going to decide. We want patients to decide. We want them to decide how much health insurance is what they need. We want them to have a variety of options. We want them to be able to buy insurance from any state in the union that they choose. And that's the direction we're going. And we will get it right.
The reason that people like my brother and other Republicans are struggling with this issue is they don't have any idea what to do with the millions of people that have health care now that didn't have it before. A Republican congressman was on another network today, said there's no way a Republican plan is going to take care of people who've gotten health care under Obamacare.
So what is the strategy then for Democrats? Is it just a sit back and watch it burn and put this in the laps of Republicans?
Well, look, I think it is to fight. I think it is to fight like hell. It is to make sure that they do not repeal Obamacare without a replacement that takes care of people who have gained health care, whose children have gained health care, who've gotten life-saving treatments. But Republicans can't balance that. They want to say that they want to protect those people, but they don't have a plan because they're not willing to spend the money. They're not willing to use subsidies. They're not willing to adopt the best practices that are in Obamacare now because, by God, it was passed by President Obama, of all people.
Dallas, last words to you.
No, that's not the reason. I mean, look, we have health care companies collapsing out of the markets. They're leaving the marketplace because this is a fundamentally bad system. We are in the death spiral that everybody has talked about, where the health care markets are getting sicker.
That's a Republican talking point. It's not backed up by facts.
It's a talking point because it's true, Brad. Look, I know that you and the Democrats want to deny reality, but you can't just give away health care and expect the insurance companies to continue to losing money and try to force plans that people don't want down their throat. That is not what we're going to do. That's what you did. We're going to do it different.
Just heard Dallas here. We're taking your care away. That is what you just said.
We're not going to take your health care away. We're going to give people options. There's virtually no options under Obamacare, and the options are going away.
Guys, thank you.
The options have been going away for a long time because the market is collapsing.
Next time you're on, Dallas, Brad, we're going to give you 10 minutes for the show so that we can really have time to talk about this. Thank you both, and thank you for watching this hour of MSNBC Live. That does it for me. My colleague Ali Velshi is picking it up in New York City. Hi,
You're kidding me. You're ending that conversation?
I was
Come on.
by my producer.
Dallas, I'll give you 10 minutes right now. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
All right.